Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. So some of my absolute favorite days in the garden are the days that I don't have plans. I am a planner. I am a list person. I always make to-do lists. I always have a schedule of things that I want to do in my life and in the garden. And sometimes that's usually very organized and that's usually a good thing. But sometimes that's to my detriment because it prevents me from coming out into my garden and really paying attention to what's going on and what my garden is telling me that it needs today, right in this moment. So for today, I actually don't have any plans. I don't have any specific thing that I really want to get done today on my schedule. And I was actually really excited about that because that means I get to come out here, I get to kind of look around and I get to decide what I want to do today based on what the garden is telling me. And those are my favorite days in the garden. So I wanted to start in the back garden today, but I think I'm also gonna go into the front garden as well. But while I'm back here and I'm looking around, look at what I just noticed. Isn't this beautiful? The almond trees are starting to bloom. I think it's right timing. We have had, it's going to be 70 degrees today, you guys. My weather app says 70 degrees, which is absolutely insane. But the closer that we get to the end of February, the more it's like, all right, we're pretty much there, I would say. My last frost is usually at the end of February, maybe sometimes early March. But we're getting kind of close to that. We're basically mid-February now at this point. So anyway, things are starting to wake up and things are starting to look good. We actually have some rain on the forecast, which is very exciting. And then if you'll see around here, there are flags absolutely everywhere. Jason and I walked around yesterday and we are troubleshooting irrigation. We actually walked around the entire property and that is what we're planning to work on maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day or something like that. But basically we just have little spots, mostly from the construction, all the stuff that we did with construction. We just have little spots that we need to, hook this up to drip, cap this over here, add this to drip, all that kind of stuff. This one is plugged, all that, just kind of fixing all of it. So if you see flags, there's even a flag over here where I want to get started. It just means that we need to fix the drip irrigation in that spot. And I wanted to say that Jason and I love using this flag method because, you're going to notice that there's a flag there, right? And it's hard to remember. You can see like 20 flags right back here that we have to fix. It's hard to remember all 20 spots, but it's really easy to see a flag. And then I'll know if Jason fixed the irrigation there because he'll take away the flag when he's done with it. So if you notice the flags, that's what those are. Anyway, while I'm up here, this is kind of what I decided I wanted to work on first. This is something that I've been meaning to take care of, but it hasn't officially been on my list. And that is cutting back these purple fattened grasses in these troughs. I definitely need to cut these back because they're going to start growing any minute. And I want to cut them back because I don't want to cut any new growth. And I definitely want to leave them in again this year. I might be changing these troughs out just simply because everything with the new fountain and everything is going to be a little bit more formal back here. Initially, we had the troughs because the troughs matched the metal raised beds over here and the metal workshop. And I really liked that look. But I might be changing those. I don't know. I'm not totally sure. But anyway, regardless of all of that, let me get started cutting back these purple fountain grasses. And then I might even address my Crown Princess Margareta Rose. That needs to be pruned and taken care of as well too. Okay, so like I said, this is the perfect time of year to be cutting this back. You can see most of it is kind of brown, brassy kind of color, and then that means this is all the old foliage from last year, and you want to do it before you start seeing any new growth, and I'm not seeing any new growth yet, so it's the perfect time of year to do it. It's really important to do this because the new growth comes from down here, and so if you don't cut it back this time of year, you're going to have the new growth mixed with all this old growth, and it's not going to look very good. The easiest thing to do is to tie it up first like a ponytail. You can use like a bungee cord or some twine if you have it. I just have these plant ties that I don't particularly like using, so I just kind of want to use them up. And you just tie it together. These are small, so they're really easy. The hard thing is once they get a couple years old, they're a tender perennial for us here in Zone 9B. Once they get a couple years old, they get huge and they get really hard to tie up. And that's usually when you need to divide them. So these are my automatic pruners. I'm in love with this tool and I use it for absolutely everything. You can use automatic hedgers. A lot of people like using those tools. I personally don't love that tool. I feel like I'm using it wrong. They just don't seem worthwhile enough for me. You can use regular pruners, you can use hedging shears, anything that's gonna be easy for you to cut all this stuff off basically as quickly as possible. And then after you get most of it off, you can come in and kind of clean it up. And this is a good time to look at the center of the plant. What you're looking for is you're looking to see if it looks kind of woody. If it looks really woody and kind of dead in the middle, it might be a sign that it's time to divide your grass because it might be getting a little too big, a little too old. And I know I have a lot that I need to divide. That is quite a job. But these are new. I don't need to do that today. Okay, all done. So I need more soil in this for sure. But these two, this guy and this guy, these are actually plain the blue salvia, which are also perennials for me here. So if I wanted to, I could just leave this and it would look beautiful with that. Maybe add some super petunias or something here. I haven't actually landed on exactly what I'm going to plant in these troughs this year, so I'm just going to leave everything as is for now, but I might transplant these. I think these are definitely going to stay here though. All right, all done. Looks nice and clean. I need to move this stock tank over that way. I just noticed it got pushed over that way a little bit. So I'll have Jason help me with that. And yes, I know I need to take these stickers off the stock tanks, but I just feel like that's a really good job for the girls to do. So I'm gonna leave that for them. I pruned my Crown Princess Margaretta. I definitely got poked. I should have went and got my rose pruning gloves, but that's okay. I got it done and I got it all pruned up, and I have to say I learned so much from Linda Knowles. If you haven't watched that video, watch that video of climbing rose pruning, because she's the one who said they like being like lashed, like tightly lashed with a little bit of pressure on them. I would have never done it this tight had she not told me that. You know what I mean? Like, look at how tight this is. I would have never done it that tight and like forced them into one specific position, but that's what she does with her roses, and they look absolutely beautiful. So this is all done. I think I'm gonna head to the front garden now. Okay, so moving up to the front garden. The front garden's looking really good, you guys. I have to say, knock on wood, but I think we've hit our last frost. I don't think we're going to have any more frost. You know, now that I said that, I probably jinxed it, but I have to be honest. We have had such warm weather this February, and if you look at the 10-day forecast, it's looking good. There's some rain. There's no signs of frost, and if we have a frost, it will be a very late frost that will probably do some damage to the fruit trees and the nut trees and all that kind of stuff. So I think I think we're done. We'll see. But anyway, so we actually filled up, we had that pile of soil that I ordered, and we actually filled up the zigzag planter. So this guy's all ready to go and ready to be planted. I ended up just leaving the daffodils in. These are all random daffodils that we happened to miss from previous years for planting daffodils, and I'm just going to enjoy them. They look random and they don't look good, but I'm going to enjoy them while I have them. The other thing is the tulips are starting to come up. I have a lot of weeds in this bed, so don't look too close, but the tulips are starting to come up. I planted, I think, 300 or 400 red tulips here. So I think that will look really, really pretty once they all come up. And then because I think we won't have any more frost, I think I can come in and I can cut back this Royal Velvet Supertunia. I think it's going to be okay for cutting that back. So I might address that today. But one thing I definitely want to address today is these guys. These are my Stratosphere Pink Picotee Gara. I actually planted them in my zigzag planter last year, and they looked so, so beautiful. And I just chopped them off. I wasn't really planning on saving them, even though they're a perennial. They're perennial in zones 6 and up. And they came back. They like immediately came back, and they're totally fine. Not all of them. Like, let's see. This one came back. This one didn't. These two came back. This one came back. This one didn't. This one didn't. This one came back. So it's like, it's a little sporadic, but I want to save the plants because they're beautiful, beautiful plants. And I think I might plant them in the back garden by my maples. It's going to look very random there for now, but I have other things that I'm planning to plant around them. So it'll make a little bit more sense. But I just want to save them because they're such great plants. They're so beautiful, especially in the early spring. So I think I'm going to transplant these guys today. Okay, so I've got the Gara planted, and I will fully admit it looks very, very funky. It looks like so random, just planted right there, and then I planted the other grouping over on this side. And it reminds me of when I first started planting up my orchard garden a couple years ago when we first moved here. It was like nothing. It was like completely blank, and then I would plant like 7 plants, and it was just like faith in planting. They're gonna grow. It's gonna look good. I'm gonna add more stuff to it. So at least this is the very beginning. I am going to amend the soil. I'm going to top dress it with some compost. I think that's the best thing that I can do. But Gara doesn't really care about poor soil. It actually likes poor soil. So I think it's going to be really, really happy here. I did add a tiny bit of the new mix that I bought. I just kind of top dressed it just a little bit. So my neighbors that own the goats, they are mowing the goat pasture, lawn, field, whatever you call it. So I've lost my peace and quiet, but honestly, I don't really mind because that sound kind of reminds me of spring, right? I mean, that's such a spring sound. So anyways, if you guys hear that, it's my neighbors. So anyway, these are good. These are nice and planted. We're going to hook them up to drip. when Jason and I come out here and fix all the other drip type of stuff. But at least I saved the plants. That's good. Okay, I think the last thing I want to do today is work over in my plant storage area. I have a whole bunch of plants that I've overwintered and they're looking rough. They're looking so bad. They're still alive. They're perfectly fine. They just need some cleanup. So here's my overwintered plant stash and everything's looking a little rough, I would say, but they're all going to be fine. Like for instance, this is salvia. This is crystal blue salvia. Look at how pretty that is. This stuff is herbaceous, and so it basically has all this dead stuff from last season that I just need to clean up, and it's already starting to get some new growth. So I just want to clean it up a little bit before I start planting it out. And then I have some Nyphophia I want to cut back. I have a bunch of this really beautiful daylily. I don't know, Nosferatu, I guess that's how you pronounce it. I just got to clean this stuff, and you can see there's already some new growth. So it's definitely time to kind of clean it up a little bit. I even have a plumbago under there that I need to plant out. So yeah, so just all good stuff, right? It's all good. It's just looking a little rough. Just needs a little cleanup. Look at this. Signs of spring. They're all over these primrose. And I have to say, I just planted these primrose and they were looking a little rough when I planted them, and they look fantastic now. They look so pretty. And you can see the flags. Here's more flags that Jason and I have to adjust the drip irrigation in these. And then these guys are actually new. They were a gift from my friend Greg, who works at Green Acres. He's been in a couple videos on my channel, but he had these and he asked if I wanted them, and I said yes. And they are Cecil Bruner climbing roses. So I have even more climbing roses. I got to find a good spot for these, but they do still have the foliage on, and you don't want to leave last year's foliage on your roses. So these I got to come through and defoliate as well. That a satisfying sight. All these plants cleaned up, ready to go, ready to be planted out for the new season, and all watered in. And look at how beautiful my strawberry tree is looking. Oh, I just love this tree. Oh, it's just so beautiful. So hopefully this motivates you all to get out into your garden without a plan, because sometimes it's really nice. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.